Hashtag 30 days of, hashtag day 7. I'm really on a run with this topic of stories because I think that it's a really important one. I did an interview on Saturday at an expo, and I have a story where I grew up in New York City. I grew up on Park Avenue, and my family was wealthy. And out of that history, part of my work is out of that history, I had some distinctions that I could learn further and dig into to serve the world in the way that I want to serve the world. But my friend Jessica saw the interview and said that I needed to be careful that my story was not misunderstood, that it didn't look like, oh, okay, here's this chick and she just grew up that way, so she just knew how to do that and made a business out of it. And that's not how it is. So that's part of my story. The other part of my story is that when I was a kid and I would meet other kids with different backgrounds, they would hate me because of my background. Now, it's not that I did anything to wind up where I wound up. You know, we all just get born where we're born, and then we live into the background that we have. But I was hated by people who didn't even know me. And in my family was very patriarchal, and so my dad taught my brothers the things that they needed to do and expected them to really thrive in careers. And to some degree, I was really expected to get married and maybe marry an investment banker and have 2 to 4 children, and until that happened, be a secretary. I was so not interested in that. So not interested in that. But that was the expectation, and that was the assumption that that would be my life. And so I knew how to volunteer, but I didn't really know how to have a job because I had this idea that I would be taking food out of the mouths of people who really needed it. So I had a huge amount of guilt and shame about that. And so I grew up in this background, but I struggled to learn how to become self-reliant and to have confidence there. So anyway, the bottom line behind all of this is that every story has its place of pain. And that's equally true for people who grew up in wealthy backgrounds like me. Because of that, I have compassion for the connectedness of my story to your story, whatever your story is, even if we come from different backgrounds. Because in every story, there's both pleasure and pain. And in the compassion for that, we are connected as human beings. And we have the capacity to trust and love and respect each other. And that's really important, and that's really powerful. So with regard to my story, I just got passionate because I had these distinctions of affluence to teach anyone who wanted to learn them these things that I knew, these things that I'd learned from the way that I grew up in part. So that's what I'm here for. And I'm really straightforward and really down to earth, and I'm open to getting to know you, whoever you are, wherever you're from. And I invite you to check out the stuff that I'm doing, because it's really cool. Anyway, I think so. So, one human being to another, I'm glad we're here, or I'm glad we're connected. I'm glad I have the opportunity to know you, even if it's just through a video screen. And I invite you to look at your story in a new light, to look at the pleasure and the pain in it. And when you meet people who are from different backgrounds with different stories than yours, look more to where you connect than to where you're divided. Because I guarantee you that there are both inside all of our stories. Thanks. Bye.